kick by Murphy. Brown waits at the back and waits. Doesn't have to. Koutoufides.
What a match winner.
Koutoufides gets it.
Welcome to another episode of On the Bench, and not all heroes wear capes, even though this guy looks like he could have and probably still should, but he was my hero and still is ever since I was a little kid. Let me reel off some stats for you. 278 games for the Blues, two-time best and fairest, Carlton captain, two-time All-Australian, AFL Hall of Famer, Premiership player 95, was robbed of a Brownlow in the year 2000, and he's on the show, and we're not even going to talk about any of that because he's also the 2006 Dancing with the Stars champion. Kouta, hello.
Frankie, great to be on, mate. I do recall us many, many years ago when you were just a little spring chicken doing a show for you. And you did so well back then. And we've stayed friends ever since, which is great, I think.
No, it's been an honour. Dino and I, back in the day, I remember when Fox Footy said to us that Anthony Koutoufides is going to be coming on your little show. And we were like, what, you mean the real Anthony Koutoufides? And we were about 14 years of age. And then you walked into the studio and the absolute giant that you were, the Adonis, the Greek Adonis, and we were about this big, being in your presence. And as you said, we've stayed in touch ever since. And and you came on a few times.
Yeah, I did know because I loved you boys, and you had great energy between the two. And it's funny how you say you used to be the Greek Adonis, and you're right. I mean, people say they'll see me at the gym
You still are.
They're just like, Kouta, man, used to be so massive. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, I'm 49 now. I've got a bung shoulder, I've got a bad hip, and I just can't do like heavy weights. And they don't even want to hear it, Frankie. They're just like, mate, you need to just get, as big as what you were before. Obviously I can't, but I enjoy staying fit, mate.
Oh, I used to love it. I used to love when I go to the footy with my mates, and then I'd go missing after the final siren. And that's because we'd come down and see you with your brothers, and we'd come in and sing the song.
Oh, yeah, weren't they great days? I mean, we were definitely, I often talk about it, Frankie, that it was a great family environment. And that included the supporters. I felt like we're all just one big happy family. And as much as I was the AFL player and the other guys, we still had such a wonderful time. And I got to meet so many incredible supporters. So I was very blessed, I must say. I got the last sort of 12 years of this most incredible football club. The 5 after that, out of my 17 years I was on the list, weren't quite the same. But at least I could understand why, before I got the Carlton Football Club, why they were so successful. Because when I walked in, it was the culture.
Absolutely. And I brought something along. This is my original Ridgy Didge. Still got it, Kouta. Would never, ever get rid of it. This is my pride and joy. So much so that when I started to get a bit big for it, I cut the sleeves off so I could still at least get into it. Not that I had arms like yours. I certainly didn't have arms like yours, but I just didn't fit into it anymore.
Oh, well, those arms have disappeared now, mate. You've probably got big arms than me now. So there you go. Things have changed. It was a great number, the 43, though, Frankie. The 43 was a great number.
It'll never be replaced, the number 43. It will never, ever be replaced. Now, as much as you've got amazing footy accolades, and I could talk to you about them for hours and hours, believe it or not, we're not here to talk about that, Kouta. We're here to talk about the fact that you are returning to the dance floor on Sunday night as a former champion of Dancing with the Stars in 2006. It's a big reunion show of all the big stars. Did you ever think you'd be back on the dance floor?
No, I didn't, Frankie. To be honest, I remember how I had such an incredible time the last time I did it, but I walked in really oblivious to understanding dancing. And although at the back of my mind, I always thought Ricky Martin, I go, have a look at this guy. Imagine, you could dance as half as good as what he could. I just thought he was the man. And so I always had this thing about, geez, I wish I could learn how to dance. And then I got that phone call from Channel 7. And my mum was the biggest fan of Dancing with the Stars. So when I got the offer, I said to Mum, Channel 7 have asked me to be part of Dancing with the Stars. She said, that's my favourite show, you're doing it. So I didn't even have a chance to say no. And I did it. But I remember when I first walked in, I actually watched my dance partner, Natalie Lowe, dance at a show at the casino called Burn the Floor. And I was watching her dance thinking, what is going on here? There's no way that I can do anything like this. And as I walked in, I remember the waltz, and I didn't know there was actual steps to it. This is how oblivious I was to dancing. And then after my first session, she said, you've got a bit of coordination, we might go okay. That's what she said. I mean, obviously maybe give me a little bit of confidence, but I was on the odds the least favourite to win that series. And I had some absolute, I had good friends in Andrew Gaze and Tamsin Lewis, which I knew for a long time. Chris Hemsworth was on my series as well, who's a megastar now.
Well, I think there's like 14 returning and a few other ring-ins as well. You've got David Roden, of course. You and him would be great mates on the dance floor and played many years of football for different teams and cross paths. And you have, I think there's Olympia Valance is there, and there's Courtney Act, Rob Mills, Ricky Lee, Kouta, she's back for this series as well. Do you think that Channel 7 originally rang you that day because they saw and took some confidence from your Zorba dancing out of the Silverlarky Hut ads that I know you hate talking about, but we'll have a look at it here because it's memories. How much do you hate it?
Oh, mate, it just appears whenever I think it's disappeared. It just appears again. And I've copped the shellacking in the last few days again as people tagging me into the post. And I don't mind. Like, really, it's a little bit of fun. And people get a laugh out of it, mate. I still laugh at it just because it is very funny. And but anyway, there's no doubt they would have seen that commercial go viral, and that includes overseas. Frankie, it actually hit the most popular show in Greece, and they actually couldn't speak. They were laughing that much. They sat there in tears, Frankie, just looking at this commercial and didn't have to say one single word. So maybe if I walk the streets of Greece, people might just start staring at me and start laughing. Maybe because they've seen that commercial. But I was very lucky. I hesitated initially because of everything that was going on. And knowing that my body isn't great also. And then I just thought, because I've been confined to my desk at home for so long, I thought I just need to get out and, and start doing it. I had the great support from my wife, who just really, she was behind the saying, I really do think you should do it. So that helps too. And my daughter was the other one as well.
David Roden, he's tough competition. How was the rivalry between you two? And I know you can't let anything slip, but how was the rivalry between you and David Roden? Because I know you both have done player reviews over the years. Gee, that's tough to say, Anthony. Player reviews over the years. So how was it?
Well, let's be honest. David Roden, even in the player reviews, is a magnificent dancer. He's such a natural. So I would probably need 3 years of training, and he could probably just turn up and still be a better dancer than me. So I'm not sure if that sums him up well enough, but he's a terrific guy, and as far as I'm aware, he's probably, what I was told is that he had more 10s on his series of Dancing with the Stars, as in himself getting 10s, than any other participant that's ever done it ever on the show. So he comes in with high accolades, but the pressure's on him, not on me. Like in 2006, Frankie, my wife said I was an atrocious dancer when I first started. So I went from atrocious to not bad. And so if they see improvements, people like it.
Well, I hope you took that mentality into the dance floor like the 99 preliminary final with no expectations and the greatest quarter of football that was ever played by your good self. If you went in with that attitude, then David Roden hasn't got a chance.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not footy though. But the attitude was the same. Don't get me wrong, Frankie. I went out there to just do my very best. I put it this way, I gave my all, and I know I didn't leave anything on the dance floor. And I had a great time. And I'm glad I did it because it was tough work. It was hard. Some people probably thought I was going on a holiday. Definitely wasn't. It was a lot of hours of training, and mate, we were under the pump, but it was good because it's all about being out of your comfort zone, which I always, spruik. So I've got to do it myself. I can't just talk. I've got to, walk the talk, as they say. And it was great.
Now, I read on the internet, so this is out there. I don't know whether it was leaked or not, but talking about scores, I read that there were 9 perfect scores given across the recording of the upcoming show. So, I mean, are you maybe going to get a perfect score, perhaps?
Well, I can't reveal anything, but look, if you watch my last series, no doubt, I reckon I'll get a few, Frankie, but you're going to have to watch. You're going to have to watch, mate. I can't reveal too much on that one.
No, that's fair enough. Now, is your partner named Jess this time? And you said that she started working with, she referred to you as Tin Man, or you referred to her that you felt like you were Tin Man.
Yeah, no, I did say that. And I think she was in a bit of shock. Jessica Raffa, a phenomenal dancer who was the lead dancer of Burn the Floor. So she was the face of Burn the Floor. And so obviously a great dancer. She hadn't done the series for a long time, but she'd won a previous with one of the dancers, and she'd done a few years ago. But when I turned up, I think I felt sorry for her, Frankie, because she must have looked at me and thought, oh my goodness me, like, what have I got here? Like, I literally can't lift my shoulders my arms any higher than that. And I think if I had it, I'm not going to say, I can't say how I went, but it would have been nice to use my strength in the dance, on the dance floor. And that would have been some of the lifts that I was able to do in 06 that I not able to do in this series. Yeah. And that would have been, I'm sure, nice for her too, because she would have loved to have been able to utilise all your strengths. But she worked around it. And I was quite, if I'm allowed to say, I don't know, impressed, but I was happy with the way that I danced, Frankie. And for someone who hasn't danced for so long, who now, I'm 49 now, it wasn't easy, because last time they asked me, Frankie, they'd say, was it tough, Kouta? And I said, look, it was long hours, but it was gentle on the body. And I was still playing footy, don't forget, because I did it in 06. So I had another season of footy left to go. And this time it was the complete opposite. My body was aching and sore. I had to ice my knee after every session. But I made sure I did a lot of stretching the entire series, and I've continued that on because I had to stretch.
Wow, it sounds horrible.
Yeah, I know. So it's not, I guess if other people are thinking of doing Dancing with the Stars and they heard me talk about it just then, Frankie, they probably wouldn't do it. But anyway, you've got to do it. I've probably gone a little bit over the top with it. You'll push through, and it's good.
Well, the stuff in the background there, the Herbalife, that'll keep you going, mate. You know that.
Yeah, 100%. I used it throughout the dancing, and everywhere I went, I take it with me. I love the products, and I've been on it for a long time, so it does help.
Let's talk a little bit of footy then, Anthony Koutoufides. We'll wrap up the dancing chat. Carlton, the news that came through the other day about Sammy Walsh and the syndesmosis was devastating. How are they going to go?
Yeah, it's not. Is it a long-term injury, Frankie? I've never heard of this. Is it?
Well, I read in an article that it said months plural that he'll be out for. So not exactly sure at this point how long. But anyone with that injury, it's a bit of a setback, particularly with the expectations Carlton have at the moment going into this season with Vossi and a fit and fresh Charlie Curnow and Mackay and Sammy now out, no good.
Yeah, very important players. We know one of the up-and-coming superstars of the competition. Look, it's going to be hard to cover. It gives someone else an opportunity. Maybe we can, try to get some other players through the middle that we may not have thought of before. But hopefully he gets himself back early on. I'm really excited for Charlie Curnow. We all love him. He's a great fella, and love to see him get better. I'm glad he played a few games last year. He might be a little bit inconsistent this year because, being out for so long, it's not going to be easy. But in saying that, he's a natural, he's got natural endurance like Sammy Walsh. So they'll be able to come back fine. I remember Craig Bradley often not even doing pre-season, as in pre-season before the New Year, so before Christmas pre-season, and he'd turn up in January and still win the time trial. So the guys that have got natural endurance can certainly come back from injuries a lot better. But Frankie, it's been a long time. I get excited by Carlton every single year, but I have a good feeling about this year. I've got my fingers crossed that Vossi can do a great job. He's a great fella. I used to love playing against Vossi, just a true, honest, hard nut, no cheating, man. It was like, there's a ball, man, and we're going in, let's go. And it was that sort of player. So I'm looking forward to it. It'd be unreal, Frankie, for the young guys to really understand and experience the Carlton Football Club. What a wonderful club that it is. And when we start to see success, we're going to see this club, as the most powerful club in the competition again. So I'm looking forward to it, mate.
No, I am too. I'm holding this for good luck, mate, because it needs a bit of that spirit on the back there in the team. And I don't want to put any pressure on you and your family, but do you think we're going to see Lucas? Is he going to take the baton from you and end up playing? Because Jamie, not really into footy, but he's huge. He should be playing. What about, is Luke going to play?
Yeah, no, Jamie chose basketball and was never interested in footy, but he went out for a kick yesterday with Lucas. He might have a few regrets, I'm not sure, but Lucas loves his footy. He kicked a lot of goals last year, won the league best and first, but he's only 11, so he's still very young. A long way to go. He loves it, and I love watching him play. And we'll only in time will tell, okay, Frankie, because how high, how tall do they grow? How lean will they be? Will they have endurance? Will they have speed? That's all the stuff that's the unknown at this stage. But in terms of everything else, in terms of marking and skill and all that, he's got all that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, as long as he loves it, that's the main thing. And he's certainly got good genes. So hopefully that'll play a part as well. Hey, Anthony Koutoufides, before I let you go, mate, I just wish you all the best for Sunday Dancing with the Stars. I hope you win. I really do. And if you do win that trophy, I hope you walked off stage with that mirror ball in one hand like you used to do playing footy.
No doubt, mate. And I can't reveal if I did it, so people have to stay tuned and see if I did grab that mirror ball with the one hand and walk away with it.
And before I actually really do let you go, I want to play the role of the gorilla in the souvlaki ad. I want you to ask me the famous line that you asked the gorilla.
Yeah, hey monkey. I think it was, hey monkey, do you want a souvlaki? Is that the one?
That's the one. No, that's all I needed. I just wanted to feel what it was like.
Yeah, no, but not quite the same energy, mate. Doing all that stuff.
Well, actually, don't go to Greece if you are a big star over there, because if you are and they have seen the ad, they'll just start throwing bananas at you like the monkey did. So be careful.
Instead of the flowers that they throw at their bazooka nights, I'll probably get bananas in the back of my head. So it won't be good. Won't be good.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on the show. All the very best for Sunday night. Go the Blues. Go number 43. Hopefully in another few years when Lucas is playing footy. And pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Frank. You're always good to speak to you, man. All the very best. Thanks for having me on.